All right, so we'll wrap up the episode with BSS hot take reactions. I think we got two. I can't pull up Discord right now, actually. Lonnie or Random, can y'all pull it up for
Lonnie, let's try
Discord?
you this time because I tried to fix it. And I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Discord.
Discord hot take reactions. It's in the pinned.
I think I pinned one of Ty's too on there.
If it's the one that was sent, then maybe.
All
I think.
right.
See if you can get it.
Present.
Also,
Share.
make sure y'all show up for Sunday Shonen Jump chapter reactions for Sundays. I'm so curious to who the One Piece they is.
Verdell, I'm gonna be there with you on Sunday for the One Piece.
Oh, I'm here for bro. I'm hearing some ideas, but I'm not gonna see anything until I read it on Sunday.
Yeah, I pulled up for the My Hero one, and we were just sitting like, "What the fuck is going on with Deku for real? What's he about to do?"
I need to wait another week before I can dive in on My Hero. That's all right. You guys ready? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right. Can everyone hear it?
Yep. You turned up.
Turn it up and then full screen it.
I don't know if I can turn it up.
If you can't turn it up, then just let it rock.
All right.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is not anime.
Oh, it's good.
It's not made in Japan by a Japanese animation studio, nor is it written by Japanese people. Anime exclusively Japanese? No. Yeah. So Avatar: The Last Airbender is actually, by the admission of the creators, inspired by Japanese animation or anime, but it was not written, produced, or created in Japan or by Japanese people. Japanese animation is by definition made by and in Japan by Japanese people. Also, Zenitsu's
Damn, Zenitsu just caught a stray. Why do people care so much about this anime and not anime conversation?
I never cared, but I also knew that Avatar was not an anime.
At the same time,
it's
that whole hitting.
There are just some things that like
it's the same argument people use for like manga has to be in Japan, even though that's not true because Shonen Jump has held manga competitions worldwide where that were judged by Oda, Akira Toriyama, Takahiko, Kishimoto, author people. They've all held competitions for manga outside Japan. They actually argued that because people didn't have since their mangas were not they were too heavily inspired by Japan. They actually like wanted people to incorporate their own cultures, even like things like Radiant or things like our manga is a French manga, right?
Oh, yeah, it is actually. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be like that. That's not a rule. But I got a hot take about this. It's always people who aren't Japanese trying to tell people what's considered anime and manga. Have y'all ever heard a person who isn't Japanese says this is anime or manga? You've never heard it before. Never heard it before. It's always people outside the culture trying to tell you what the culture is. I go with the grace. If Akira Toriyama says that anyone can make a manga or anime, I think I'm gonna go with that. If Oda says anyone can make an anime manga, I'm gonna go with what they say. How about that person not even part of the culture?
It's the same. It's this whole like tradition thing. Like things have to look a certain way to get approval from certain people, which I feel like is whack. It's the same thing that us as Black people struggle with everything. Like when. Like if a Black person decides to cosplay as an anime character, you'll see people be like, "Why are you cosplaying as them? They're not Black." Like it's things like that nature. Like, but we claim things all the time that aren't what they are. Like a lot of people claim that Boondocks is an anime. We all know it's not an anime. It's like made. We all know it's like made in America, but it has
that animation feel for sure.
Yeah, it has animation feel.
So I know part of it was animated by Madhouse, right? They did.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Madhouse did part of it, but I need y'all to hear that Japanese dub of Boondocks.
So that would mean that it's anime by that guy's definition.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't like it's part of like the second or third season. I can't remember. Like they helped out a few episodes.
Hydra.
Okay, got you.
The difference between manga and manhwa. Does anyone else want to answer this?
Manga is Japanese. At least I guess if you want to go by the traditional definition, is kind of Japanese comics, and manhwa is Korean comics. If you want to go that
another
way.
big difference is that manhwa are usually colored, while manga are usually black and white.
Yeah, like
It doesn't have.
Also, manga's read right to left.
Not that guy's question. Because
Some on
what is
yeah. Let Ty go.
that's the question,
My
because
bad.
the distinction is, and this is going by, again, not what I'm saying, but what y'all favorite authors are saying. It's
Okay.
more so. It's more so a stylistic choice, right? So, for example, if I do something like, it's at least when they judge manga across like the world, like a lot of the big, even Viz Media has had it as you can submit manga regardless of where you're from to Viz Media to be potentially in Shonen Jump publication. Manga Plus, I submitted Puzzle Manga Plus. That if you place higher on the list, you could potentially be published in Shonen Jump. It's really just how you stylize your story is what determines it being a manga. Like that's literally all it is. It doesn't matter where you come from, anything like that. The thing about it is a lot of manga will have a different style to them than manga do, and that's why they're considered different.
Yeah,
Can it be Japanese manhwa? Is his follow-up question.
I mean, as
I
long
don't
as
see
you
why
have a
not.
stylistic choice at the end of the day. I mean, ultimately, all these terms are really here to define the type of thing that you're viewing or the type of thing that you're reading, and it doesn't really matter in terms of where it came from. But you get these understanding that this is going to have this type of title of type of medium that you're watching or reading. So it, for the most part, doesn't mean anything. Yes, is the avatar an anime, whatever, is a funny conversation. But even nowadays, with people like Ty, with other creators, with how webtoons and manhwa are entering the field, and other series getting more comfortable with anime and manga and all that stuff, the blurred lines of all these different countries creating material is happening more and more. So ultimately, it's just like what type of piece that people like more. It doesn't really matter where it comes from. I'd be guaranteed none of y'all would have known that Radiant came from France. Guarantee. If you know what Radiant is, guarantee none of y'all would have known.
I didn't like the story, but I didn't know it was from
That
France.
guy
Also,
talks about it.
also speaking, France is like I think it's the second biggest like anime slash manga country, like in terms of like popularity with manga. Like I think One Piece, they sell like more in France than they do in America. Like One Piece is like super big in France, and like other animes are and stuff like. So it's not just America and like the U.S. Like Europe is starting to grow, but France particularly is like one of the big hotspots for anime and manga right now.
Quick side note: have you guys heard of that big Dragon Ball fan fiction that they're making? It's like Dragon Ball. They call it Kakume. It's basically like universal. It's like a universal or multiversal war, and like first chapter, Goku gets captured by technically Whis' mom.
Oh, I think I've seen TikTok clips of that.
And he's out immediately. And so far, it's fantastic. Like what they've shown.
I've heard about it over the years. Like some people say that like those storylines in that series is like is like more interesting or more intense than like the ones in like the actual Dragon Ball. I've never read it. I've seen like little clips and panels of them, and some of them do look interesting. But like I think I've seen like Broly go like Super Saiyan 3, like all types of stuff that like fans like talk
Shout
about.
out Dragon Ball
Future
Heroes.
Gohan in it? Future Gohan is in there.
No. So the big thing about Kakume itself is obviously the fact that they take out Goku in the first chapter, and they've given like the humans go to that wolf universe, because basically what happens is that the universes that got erased, I think they play on when Android 17 says the universes that got all the universes that got erased can come back, so they play on that. So all those deleted universes from before the Tournament of Power come back, and they all have different ones. And that's where I think they kind of called it. They showed Frieza is actually the god of destruction of one of those deleted universes, and we're trying to figure out how he's there. But what they do, they basically, the Grand Priest is like, hey, these universes are coming. We have like a year or two. I can't remember how long it is to figure it out, and we need to get together. So now what they're doing right now is everybody's training, but one of the universes woke up early with a god of destruction, and they pulled up to Sadala to start squaring up with people. And like right now, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who wants to watch it, like Bulma is in serious danger. I think Chilai's dead, I think. And Broly just, it looks like Broly's going on. Have you read it, Ty? Because I know you said
I have, and if it doesn't really make sense. The story does. I don't really like it because I like it from a standpoint. It's a cool passion project by a fan. It's really cool. But I can tell a fan wrote it. So you can really You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. They're not Toriyama's. That's okay. But when you introduce them at the beginning of the story, you see Goku and Beerus fighting, and they're both blowing up planets. Now, if you know Goku, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
That is
that's right off the bat.
That makes that's what I'm saying. That's the thing that fans want to see. Like see the power scale. I see things blow up. Sure. The funny thing about it is like Beerus throws Goku to a planet, and he's about to blast Goku. Everyone on the planet's dead, and then Goku stops to save one individual child, and then leaves them just sitting on a rock, and they go to fighting. I'm like,
another thing that still bothers me to this day, Ty. Why would Whis just let Goku go
not
to
only that,
investigate that?
If a god of destruction wanted to kill Goku, they would just kill him. Like it's the story is like a bit strange. You would have to accept that the normal rules of Dragon Ball don't exist. Like Goku's a completely different person. He's a person that's okay with just killing people randomly in a fight, which is very unlike Goku. You have to kind of accept that the god of destruction maybe can't kill Goku when they want to. You have to accept a lot of things that are inconsistent to think it's at least enjoy the story from that perspective. I love the art. The art's beautiful. But the characters they're very much out of character, and the story's not consistent with the story. So you can kind of just accept all the rules you previously knew are not present anymore.
Well, I wonder with those first couple chapters where they kind of like, here's kind of what's going on, boom, and then they immediately start the sprint down the story. I wonder if they're ever going to go back and like fix those problems, because they show Krillin, Tien, Yamcha all pull up to wherever those wolf people are, those animal like people that fought in the tournament. Like they show them there, but then we don't know exactly what happens. Gohan, the coolest part is when Gohan joins the Pride Troopers.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. I thought
why would they go back and finish the story? Are they profiting from it, or is it just if it's just a fan project, they're just telling what they imagine the imaginative stories that they are interested in.
If they want to make the, because it's one of the bigger ones that like there's a
Do
channel.
people profit off of fan made stories?
I don't know.
You do like if you do things like maybe like Patreon, or YouTube, then you could.
Is that allowed?
There's a so
allowed.
I guess you could consider it like a parody, technically.
Yeah,
well, people have been saying that like they want that to get animated and stuff like that, but
well, because I'll say this, Riddell, there's a whole channel called Mondo Cool on YouTube that like kind of does a cinematic version of each chapter when it comes out, and I know they're in very good contact with the creator of the manga. Of the fan fiction, so I don't know, because he's making money off of it from everything that I've seen from each video. So I don't know how that he's sending proceeds or something's going on, but he's the only channel on YouTube that's gotten like the official seal of approval from the creator of Kakume.
I mean, hey, go ahead, do what you got to do. I mean, I praise the guy that made that one YouTube video of that Dragon Ball inspired. So it wasn't in the Dragon Ball universe, but it was Dragon Ball inspired YouTube animated video. I'm
Is
sure
it the one where
saw.
Vegeta technically fought Broly?
Yeah, Vegeta fought Broly. Goku turned into this ape-ish Super
Wukong
Saiyan type thing. Like those type of projects, it's very, very impressive.
I thought that was awesome.
I think at the very least, I think I'm more like, I mean, do what you want. I'll be more okay with it as long as people make it very clear that this is my own story, not my own version of someone else's story. I think that makes me like, do what you got to do. When it comes to parody humor, I mean, I love parody humor, so go for it.
There's still what's the really the biggest one, Dragon Ball Multiverse, where they have that multiversal tournament. That one's still going on. Because I know people for a while were mad because Vegeta's daughter Bullet, because she's grown up in that one, and she goes Majin and goes crazy for a little bit. And
why would people be mad on a fan project?
Well, I think it was the people that she technically killed because of the Majin power up is what got a lot of people, because it didn't make any sense in that one. Because I think different people write different parts of that story, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
It's like they have like a whole website and everything. So I think right now they just finished because it technically takes the end of Dragon Ball Z, the characters, the cast. So Goku and Vegeta just had like their final fight, and Goku barely won. And he's moving on in the tournament, Vegeta's out. But then you see like other multiverse, like the one where Cell wins, the one where Frieza doesn't exist, or all the Saiyans are more feral. There's the one where Broly, like the original Broly, wins and he wipes out the universe, and they find him. And for some reason, they're like, yeah, let's just put this guy in the tournament. We don't know shit about him. Let's put him in the tournament. The one where Vegito never unfuses. There's one.
I mean,
Future Trunks, like they do a lot of things.
That sounds good and all. I personally don't see the appeal of fan made like stories, to be honest, for me. So I'm not really in that kind of environment. So, but I mean, if you are having fun and people are enjoying it, then go crazy. You know what I'm saying?